Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fine Disaster. This is Battlefield 1, and in today's weapon review, we're going to be taking a closer look at the SMLE-MKIII Marksman sniper rifle, with the aim of finding out a little bit more about the gun in question, how to best use it, what its strengths and weaknesses are, how it compares to some of the other sniper rifles in the game, and of course, what you're going to have to adjust in using this sniper rifle versus previous experiences in the Battlefield franchise, such as Battlefield 4. To get straight into things with the stats of the SMLE-MKIII Marksman, we have a maximum damage of 100 and a minimum damage of 80. Unlike, of course, Battlefield 4, however, this is no longer starting with a maximum damage and eventually trailing off to a minimum damage. We have a sweet spot that is a distance of combat or hitting your target in which you will achieve 100% damage. That is to say, a one-shot kill on normal infantry if hitting them in the chest or in the head. This, in the case of the SMLE-MKIII Marksman, is between 40 and 75 meters. It isn't the biggest sweet spot, but it is a relatively good one to have, given that if you're a more aggressive sniper, this is the more kind of medium range engagement that you will be facing, and this will allow you, instead of trying to either put two shots into your enemy, trying to help out with your pistol, or trying to go for the headshot, just perform a standard body shot and be guaranteed a kill. This is, of course, only between the distances of 40 and 75 meters. Having talked about the damage model, let's move on to the fire rate. At 52 rounds per minute, it is on the slower side of the sniper rifles available in Battlefield 1, with a number of them having significantly higher fire rates. It is, however, not the slowest, and in my experience, it hasn't made too much of a difference to the performance of this weapon. Given that you're hitting a headshot, you're not going to have to fire a second shot in any case anyway. Moving on to muzzle velocity, at 740 meters per second, this gun shoots its bullets faster than any gun in Battlefield 4. Nevertheless, it is one of the slowest shooting guns when it comes to muzzle velocity in Battlefield 1, which gives you an impression of how much muzzle velocity really has gone up in this iteration of Battlefield. Now, with 740 meters per second, it is not the slowest, this should be noted, but it is slower than a number of other sniper rifles, which can sport muzzle velocities over 800 meters per second. Next up, then, we have the magazine size, and this is where this gun can start to gain back some of its sympathy. At 10, it's significantly higher, actually double what a lot of the other Marksman editions of these sniper rifles have. Usually those can be only 5 shots. In this case, you do have 10, which is of course nice for taking on multiple targets and not having to reload too often. Speaking, of course, of reload, we once now have a different reload mechanism in Battlefield 1 for the sniper rifles as we did to Battlefield 4. It's no longer entire magazines, but instead we have either single bullets or clips of 5. In this case, a single bullet reload will take you 0.5 seconds, while a clip of 5 will take you 1.767 seconds. This is all relatively reasonable. It doesn't take too long to reload this gun. Frankly, reload speeds, of course, are not of too high importance for sniper rifles, and as such, there's no point going too much into the details of how competitive that is compared to other sniper rifles. Next up, let's move on to the possible modifications of the SMLE-MKIII Marksman then. Now, the modification system, or should I say attachment system, is of course very different to what we had in Battlefield 4. Options are reduced, mostly cosmetic, very few functional options left that you can use to modify your guns in this game. Instead, of course, we have 3 different variations of the gun, which possess slightly different attributes and which are treated as separate weapons by the game. As such, you have to separately unlock each one of them. So in this case, we only have a few options of modifications possible for the SMLE-MKIII Marksman. Of course, we have a choice of optics, that's to say reticle of the optic. You can have a cross, beam, chevron, or post. I would stick with the cross simply because I think it's the easiest to use to hit headshots, but if you have a preference here other than, of course, mine, you are free to choose whatever suits your purposes best. Next up, we have magnification. This can actually make a difference to not necessarily the performance of the gun itself, but your performance with the gun, and you should, of course, be choosing here what you are most comfortable with and in what cases or what combat distances you think you're going to be using this gun. A word of advice, so I would stick with the default highest possible magnification, that's to say 4 times in this case, because of course, while this gun is best at medium range in this case, of course, being concerning sniper rifles and not something like SMGs or shotguns, you will find yourself shooting longer distance targets even though your sweet spot may not be ideal for it, because frankly, Battlefield 1 maps have plenty of open spots and there's plenty of people willing to camp up on a hillside. Now, if you're running around with a 2.5 magnification optic, you may find it difficult to hit those targets and you're going to be kicking yourself for not taking the higher magnification optic. That's my take on the magnification story regarding the SMLE-MKIII Marksman, but once more, this is a question of preference and you will find that whatever suits you best is likely the best choice. Last but not least then, we have barrel attachments. Now, as of now, Battlefield 1, for the sniper rifles, there's only one option here, either no bayonet or with bayonet. I'm not quite sure why you wouldn't put a bayonet on your weapon as of now. I'm not sure if there's some kind of drawback to the weapon, but I haven't been able to find any information on it, or I haven't at least noticed myself any difference between the weapon with bayonet or without bayonet as of now. So in my case, I just slap it on for the occasional stabby action if I get the opportunity to charge somebody. With all that being said, what is the verdict on the SMLE-MKIII Marksman? Should you be using it, and why should you be using it if yes? Well, first and foremost, you should be using it because otherwise you won't be unlocking any of the other sniper rifles. It is the first sniper rifle in the game, and as such you have very little choice in whether or not you're going to stick with it. But why should you use it beyond once having unlocked other sniper rifles? Well, while its stats are mediocre, that is to say not bad, there is guns of course out there that are better. I do find the combination of its sweet spot and lower magnification optic very pleasing to use, because it allows you as sniper to be more aggressive, to get on points, help your friends you're playing with, be that if they're medic, support or assault, get into the action and not try to always camp on a hillside or do only long range shots. I don't find much pleasure in trying to hit somebody at 300 meters. I find a lot more pleasure trying to take out somebody under 50 meters on the objective, or maybe out to 150 meters. This is where I like to play my sniper rifle. It was the way I played sniper rifles in Battlefield 4 as well. That's why I was one of the few people that also used 4x magnification optics and not only the 8x or higher magnification optics, and as such this gun fits my playstyle well. That's not to say I'm never going to switch to any of the other sniper rifles, because frankly I do want to try them out as well, and I have already been trying them out. But having played this gun for a little bit already, having over 300 kills with the SMLE-MKIII Marksman, I can say it is a competent gun, especially when comparing to Battlefield 4, and I didn't find myself outmatched in most situations other than extremely long range sniping. As such, this gun is recommendable to those who like to play their recon class a little bit more aggressive, not those who ever like to go full iron sights and hip fire at under 20 meters for most targets. It's more of a medium range sniper rifle. With that being said, let me know what your experiences is with the primary SMLE-MKIII Marksman. I'd like to know what your experiences are regarding its performance and combat distances, if you find it very nice to use or if it's more of a hindrance and you're just waiting to unlock the next sniper rifle. Furthermore, feel free to leave down your video suggestions regarding Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 4 down below, in case you didn't already do so on one of my previous videos. With that being said though, at this point I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next Battlefield 1 video.